Hello, everybody. Welcome. So good to see all of you. I hope you're doing well. You guys are going to laugh at me. I hope you do, in a good way. I was going and talking, and I realized I'm just recording. I'm not live streaming. So I got a little practice run, and I'm ready to talk to all of you. Thank you for your patience. That was a technical glitch, and I'm like, why is nothing happening here on my side monitor? So I'm glad that I have that monitor on the side. Anyway, good to see all of you. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. Like the fog behind me, there was some mental fog going on, and it's just good to be here, good to be present. And let's check in with Apollo, and then we'll get started. So right behind me is my furry assistant, Apollo, off to the side a little bit. I think that the weather definitely kind of impacts our mental capacity sometimes. So let's see if I can get him in frame there. There he is. What a cutie pie. So again, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is the Weekly Collective. I feel like this is deja vu for me, but not for you. So let me talk about what this is briefly, and then we'll get into what I was just talking about to myself. All right, so Weekly Collective is for everybody. You guys chose a really great topic. I was kind of hoping you would. I try to do a quarterly outlook now when I can. This will be the second, but I think this would be a nice addition to the regular scheduled program here because it gives us a chance to kind of see what's available. And I saw someone in the comments saying, I don't like to look that far ahead. Well, it's just giving you a point on the horizon, and you can change it. So I don't think it's really useful to look much more beyond 3 to 6 months. Occasionally I'll do a year forecast just to see the energy of the year, but 3 months is pretty manageable, and it's still fairly accurate, and you can then really keep an eye out for things. So I think it's a useful thing. Just keep an open mind. Someone last week, same thing with like time to traveling telegram. I'm like, that's kind of what we do all the time here. You're looking into the future and thinking, do I like the trajectory? That's how intuition works. That's how tarot works. And you have free will. And that is a great setup for this. This is why we show up every single week. It's so that you can decide, do I like this path? It is not, absolutely not set in stone. You're driving the car. You're riding the chariot, okay? So let's get into channeled messages. I was talking about this prior to beginning here, and like I said, did not hit the live stream button. Okay, so here's what I picked up on in dreams, and it was pretty poignant, actually. I was shown what is basically a mini life review, and it was just for, like, speaking of a short amount of time, it was like a semester in school. And what I saw from this mini life review is that each of us, everybody watching, is making more of an impact on people's lives, on the world around us, than we ever realize. Think, if you will, to probably a reference point that we all have seen. It's a Wonderful Life. It's played, at least in the US, every single year because I think it's in the public domain now. So, you know, all the TV stations play it around Christmas time. For those of you that haven't seen it, it doesn't matter what religion you are. It has the same general energy. There's a guy in this movie that kind of loses hope, right? I think we've all been there from time to time. And he just doesn't think he's making a difference. And an angelic entity comes through and says, you know what? You're not right on this. I'm going to show you what life would be like if you weren't a part of these people's lives. And it was far worse than when he was there. And if you can watch the movie and not get a little teary-eyed, you're stronger than I am. But Spirit basically wanted me to convey to all of you that oftentimes our impact is subtle. And one thing that you can do to kind of pay it forward is just tell people in your life a compliment out of the blue without any expectation of them saying something back. Just say, thanks for doing that. You're amazing. Or you just brightened up my day. You don't realize how much maybe someone really needs to hear that today. And then also, when delivering compliments, don't quantify them with a time marker like, oh, you look really good today. Just say, you look amazing, period. You always do. Make it a better compliment. Don't kind of mark it in. So you can help people around you by showing them their impact. And hopefully that inspires them to do the same, because sometimes we have to lead by example. But for those of you that are feeling sad, depressed, or like you're not making a difference, you are. Life review, by the way, or soul review, happens when the soul leaves the body after we expire. And you get to see things from the perspectives of others so you can learn your lessons. You do not need to go to soul review to learn lessons and to realize your impact. That's part of the reason some of you are showing up today. Know that you're making a difference. Know that you don't need to hear it. Trust in the process, and keep on keeping on, okay? And as we look at the 3-month forecast today, hopefully you can see some areas where you can make more of an impact, okay? So, yeah, I got a chance to practice run that before I said it to you, so maybe that's what Spirit wanted me to do, because it was very clear, and all I had to do was remember what I said the first time. Okay, let's go on to some of the other messages that I got. So the other thing that I saw in dreams was literally kind of talking with your mouth full, and then not being able to get what was in your mouth out of your teeth. So to me, besides just reminding to brush your teeth, floss your teeth, this is about biting off more than you can chew. And this is more like a 6 of Pentacles moment or 2 of Pentacles moment, where Spirit's coming through and saying, you don't have to do this all the time. 10 of Wands, any of those cards where you see imbalance or burdened energy. So delegate, let go a little bit, and take care of yourselves. And those are it really is self-care, self-care Sunday today, because that's what I was getting is you're making a difference. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't set expectations that are so unrealistic that you wouldn't push them onto other people. Be kind to yourself. And then one of the ways of being kind is saying no, delegating, etc. Okay? All right, powerful stuff. And for some reason, I had to say it twice today. So thank you so much for being patient as I got set up. We're going to get into a 7-day forecast next. The first portion is going to be as usual. And then when I do the latter portion where we go into the special topic, I'm going to change it up. We won't do a regular Celtic cross. I was trying to remember what I did before. I think I did spreads of 3 and then I did the expanded forecast. So changes today. That's the name of the game. All right, everything is focused. Let's get started. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully well. Yeah, for those asking, the movie was It's a Wonderful Life. It's in black and white. It's probably available for free streaming somewhere. You shouldn't have to pay for it. Like I said, I think it's in the public domain. Okay, let's get started. So I love the metamorphosis energy that's coming through for today. Let me just get the day marker up here and then we'll talk about it. So for this Sunday, we have 8 of Swords energy. And what a unique 8 of Swords this is. So I'll pull it in the upright position. Normally we would have someone that is blindfolded and trapped. Here we have someone who is basically cocooned, or not really a cocoon here, it's a chrysalis, but in a sort of like, what's the best word? Stasis, that's it. So an in-between or liminal space between something ending and something else beginning. That's always the most delicate time. That's always the trickiest time, but it's also the most exciting time because it's one of possibilities. The way this one is positioned, and I'll get the traditional one in just a moment, it's basically saying, just because it isn't in front of you, just because you don't see it in the environment, does not mean that it will not happen or that it isn't possible or that you can't do it. It just means it's in development. So today is a great day for what? Research and development, folks. So give yourself a chance to dream. And I actually went back to sleep this morning because of, you can't even see anything behind me except fog. So this is a great time to focus on looking beyond the present. What else do you want to do on a heart and soul level? What inspires you? What excites you? What frustrates you? Just take a moment today to tune in. Here's your traditional one. And it really does drive home the idea that she just feels like this can sometimes be what skepticism brings. If you have to see it, like I'll only believe it when I see it, then the world of possibilities really starts to diminish. When you least allow yourself to dip your foot into the pool of possibilities, to use like some sort of weird metaphor out of the blue, then you can really start to experience something. And this person is cutting themselves unnecessarily off from the pool of possibility. This person is saying, let's marinate for a moment. Let's see, let's go inward. It's almost hermit-like energy, right? And let's not be afraid to explore. So the card is upside down. Revelation is usually what happens here. You may have a light bulb moment, an epiphany that comes through where suddenly you realize, oh, that's what I need to focus on. That's the problem. Now it's a question of if you want to take action on it too. Okay? So those are two different interpretations of that. We have great energy coming through. I feel like we just got the Emperor. So now at the beginning of the week, we have the Empress card. She's reminding you to continue some of the daily card reads that I've talked about, which is to take care of yourself. If you need something or if you want something, you're the best agent to make that happen, agent of change. Some of you may feel like you're uprooted. And again, I did see comments here. I know a lot of you are dealing with, the storm that hit in the United States that hit the East Coast. So this makes a lot of sense. Trees and telephone lines and things like that are uprooted. And know that there's a lot of other people experiencing the same. There's a lot of empathy from everyone, myself included. And take your time. Take care of yourself, self-care. But for everybody, this can just indicate in your life that something pulled the rug from underneath you. So if we get a power card like Emperor, Empress, and it's reversed, or the World card, it's usually rapid changes and you need to catch your breath and lean on the support of others. Focus less on trying to fix everybody, more on trying to get what you need to feel supported, okay? There could also be an Empress energy around you that is driving you a little bit crazy, is the best word I can say. But this can be parent, teacher, boss, or authority figure in your life, and they helicopter in. And, there may be well-intentioned, but it's not landing. It's sort of like, I know you're going to do this. You did it, right? Or do you need it? Are you sure? Did you? And it's like all these little constant, interruptions. And if they would just leave you alone to finish the task, it would have been done like 5 minutes ago. So create better boundaries with that person. Say, if I need help, I'll ask. Please give me my space and let me do this. Or would you like to do it? I once had to do that with a boss who sat there early in my career. I was like a designer, websites and stuff. But like the way I was organizing my layers in Photoshop, he wanted me to name them. I'm like, should I send this file to you? I don't know why I was so bold, but I was already there an hour after work. He's like, no, you're good. I'm sorry. I think he realized then, like, you're good. You've got this. I'm like, it's giving you the same result. This is how I organize it. It's the same. So at the end of the day, like if the picture looks the same, who cares what the files look like? Sometimes people just have to have it their way and they don't make good bosses or leaders. So give people space to create their own system and their own energy. And I haven't thought of that for a couple decades, but that came to mind as we were looking at that. Micromanaging is what this is. Don't be a micromanager, and encourage others to give you the freedom that you need so you're not micromanaged, okay? All right, some inner work is being done on Tuesday. This is a great day for you to work on your own. It's a great day for spiritual work as well, for research, for development, the stuff that we were talking about today, also connected with that. You may also need to be the light in the dark. So the hermit holds the lantern in a completely dark environment. So in this moment in time, you may have to shine a spotlight on a solution that others wouldn't see and just continue to hold the light there until they recognize it. It can be like in a maritime environment, like a lighthouse. You're not going to give up. You're going to keep, the light just keeps coming around and eventually people see the light. That's what I'm getting with this. I don't know why I'm getting such a vivid imagery today. Lots of vivid images. So be the lighthouse, try it a few times, just stand your ground like a lighthouse does in a storm and help people find their way. That's what I'm getting on Tuesday. You may need to seek advisorship, like mentorship that day. Feel free to do it if you need to, okay? Midweek. Okay, we keep getting 5 of Cups lately, don't we? So we have 5 of Cups. We're looking at Wednesday. So this can be a card of mourning or a reset. So first and foremost, you are absolutely not only allowed to, but encouraged to process your emotions. And that includes crying, grieving, mourning, whatever you want to call it, however you want to do it, allow yourself to process that. You may need help to see what else is there, what the alternatives are. So in the traditional Five of Cups, there are 2 cups upright. These can represent people, partnership, help, or opportunities that are being aligned, kind of a synchronicity is being set up, but you had to go through the challenge first. In tarot, first the Tower comes, then the Star. And sometimes you have to go through that really, really difficult moment, right? In order to see and appreciate the good when it comes through. So here's your traditional card. This is all the stuff that didn't work out. That river can show the river of emotions that's building up. He needs to process it. He's still looking at this. Behind him could be love, partnership, opportunities. There's a bridge to get to the other side, but he has to be ready to take it. And there may be people in your life that aren't ready to accept your help yet. That Empress card that was reversed on Monday can also represent this feeling of, but I know how this can be fixed. Why won't you listen to me? You or someone else might need to recalibrate first. Just be there, be the beacon, be that lighthouse that continues to shine. Eventually someone will come to you. They got to do it in their own time and when they're ready though, okay? Let's take a look at Thursday. This is a very unusual 10 of Wands. When I first started using this deck, it looked like the 10 of Swords, but it's not. There's a different illustration for that. It's just showing that sometimes when you are in the thicket of doing something, working, studying, just living life, you don't see the forest for the trees, right? And this is really what this card shows. And it's a beautiful kind of representation that you're closer than you think to the finish line, but I think it's going to be important for you to take a step back and breathe. And the mini life review that came through was also so you could see how far you've come. In the traditional 10 of Wands, the person is carrying possibly too heavy of a load. And again, I think there could be a chance to delegate and at least take care of themselves a little bit more. It shows completion and strength, but also unnecessary expenditure. This card cuts both ways. And so you need to get some perspective, and there may be an opportunity to work a little bit smarter in this moment in time, okay? Not enough light, not enough perspective in this card, and that's for a reason. Yay for Friday. First of all, this is good too. You probably finished something on Thursday. On Friday now, step into the spotlight. Enjoy the moment for a second. Take care of your body. We can look at this literally as a card of just self-care. What's absent from this card is someone trying to control the lion. So typically, I need to take a drink. Typically, there's someone where they're reaching into the mouth of this beast and they're trying to control it, almost like a puppet master, right? And what's happening here is the lion standing its ground and saying, no, we're good. And also in a leadership position, it shouldn't have to be one person controlling or someone being subjugated. So we're seeing equity. And equity is going to be really important. You should feel like you have a seat at the table. I just talked about this when I think we had the Empress card or something. So realize that you're able to do more than maybe people are giving you credit for, and it's your moment now to kind of get your seat at the table. It's interesting that he's carrying the rose. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, there are 2 cards that have roses in prominent positions. There may be more, but the Death card and the Fool. And so ends and beginnings. I think this is a beginning of you realizing your strength and possibility. And also the battle that he has normally have to go through with the person controlling him is over. So the micromanaging, you trying to prove to someone else something, I feel like you're finally getting to a point in your life where you think, you know what, take me or leave me. This is basically, God, I'm thinking of a Rent song now. But yeah, like take me or leave me, that you're not going to really change that much. And someone else may not change that much. You're just sort of stepping into the realization that you can do it. Here's your traditional card, because I really want to show the contrast. I like this deck because it has differences, but it's important to see the difference. So look at her controlling this, line. It's a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. And this isn't something that you would want. Who would want to have someone putting their hands in your mouth? and kind of controlling you. I love this because it shows that any challenge that comes your way, you can manage it, but it's a lot. So really figure out if you want to keep doing it. And also sometimes just let people speak or do or act in the way that they want to, because sometimes that's the only way they're going to learn, folks. We can't control them. You're going to save your strength. Save your strength. That's what's coming through here. Okay. Weekend, we love it. I actually love the 2 cards here for Saturday and Sunday, but let's start off with Saturday. We have the Magician coming through. It's your choice now what you want to focus on. The Magician has all the tools at their disposal. Everything is at the altar. And look at we have like a fast-moving cat here, I think like a panther or something, or cheetah. So this is a chance for you to kind of like create movement and progression with leaps and bounds. That's what I'm seeing here. And give yourself a chance to try on different hats. So just because you always do this doesn't mean that you can't also do that. A lot of times when you look at a musician or an actor or an artist, they can do them all because they're plugged in. So can you. You're not limited to just one specialty. So maybe test things out a little bit, and this can be part of you recalibrating and figuring out what it is that you want to focus on next, okay? All right. Let's move on to next Sunday. I'm just going to leave the camera up here. We have one of my favorite court cards, the Queen of Wands. Now, normally she has a little black cat, and she's in the desert, and she's creating abundance where there's like a dearth of options or opportunities. We still see something like that here. We see a snake with 3 eggs, and she's protecting them. This is perfect for the quarterly forecast today. It tells me that there's maybe like a different ace in each month or a different gift in each month. And really what you want to keep doing is kind of like have a few things boiling in the kitchen here, so that like good chefs, they're not going to just cook the rice, then they're going to cook this. They do it all at once and then mix it together. So I see some multitasking coming in. You have the capacity not just a week from today to multitask. You can start to set the seeds of intention throughout the week. With that in mind, let's look at the high points and the challenges, and then we'll move on to the elemental breakdown. High points, absolutely Tuesday, because you're finding the inner light. I think Friday is great because you're willing to take a stand, or you just realize that you're stronger, more capable than you have been before, and the entirety of next weekend is really, really good. So you have 4 days that are looking fantastic. These days are actually not bad. It's just a matter of taking care of yourself and realizing what you need to do. The rest of the week is manageable. Thursday is still good, but I feel like there's delegation that you can do to heighten it or enhance it just a little bit. Okay, what we are going to do next is the elements. We're going to take a look at fire, earth, air, and water. So we're going to start off with fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It is a great time to network and spend time with people that you love. Look at all the diversity and fun at the table. When was the last time you gave yourself a chance to have some fun, to enjoy the company of people that you care about? Now is the time to do a little bit more of that. And this can also represent the inner child coming out to play. So if there's something that you enjoy, whether it's a sport or a hobby, now is a great time to do that. This is also children in your life. So if you have children, or if you're an aunt, uncle, or grandparent, you may be deciding to spend more time with them. You may also be thinking about love, and this is one of the best cards for love. Lovers, 2 of Cups, and 6 of Cups. Just beautiful energy with it. With this, there's both passion and camaraderie and friendship. It usually starts with friendship. Sometimes that can deepen. So you could get the best of both worlds here. It's just a great week to mix and mingle, to network. And if you need to have an important conversation, it's a persuasive card. So fire signs, you're set up for success. Enjoy. Okay, moving on to earth signs. I do think you're recalibrating here. The fact that we're now, turning this around, upside down 5 of Cups, which can represent looking in the wrong direction, tells me now maybe you're focusing on another direction. So we've already gone through this a bit. You can see the grieving energy a little bit more in this. I would focus on this, the 2 cups here. Just like we were talking about with fire signs, friendship and camaraderie can help, but you maybe don't want that big table that we see with the 6 of Cups. Just a one-on-one conversation with somebody can help you process this and really focus on the fact that things are starting to move and open up. And it's just like what's going on behind me. I'm going to have to change the camera settings in a second. We have to get through the fog or through the night before the sun can break through. So I do feel like this is a breakthrough week for you. A little bit of fog like we had here, maybe even a little misstep like I had at the beginning, and then it's all going to start to come into focus. Friendship, partnership, and leaning on others. All of these things can kind of help aid in your sort of rebounding energy, okay? I feel like things are actually moving in the right direction. There's definitely a focus this week on trying to get more time or get more money. Some of you might be job seeking. We see reaching energy towards more resources. It takes time, and it's probably taking a little more time than you want. Notice how I'm using a lot of different decks, but we keep getting like leopards and cheetahs and panthers coming through. So I feel like it'll move quickly when the timing is right. Trust in the cosmic timing. You're going to be okay here. Don't overextend. Don't overpromise. That's an important thing when Seven of Pentacles energy comes forth. Water signs. It's actually a very productive week for you. So we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe some slight revisions, but you're very close to completion here. So get it in writing, get it sort of out. Whatever it is that you're channeling, now is the time to really put that into practice, into writing, and things will start to come into focus, okay? The other thing here is this can be going back to finish a degree or finish something that you've already started but maybe haven't had a chance to put your full attention to. Great energy here, lots of productivity. The other thing here is to have some fun, kind of like we were seeing with the Magician. Allow yourself to paint with all the colors in the palette. And this is you really going into what's possible this week, okay? It's a card of writing, construction, teamwork, and recognition. So you have the capacity in this moment for all of these things to come together. So Earth, you got two messages. Enjoy. Air. High Priestess in reverse. Okay, so let's go back to this. Thanks for everybody that spoke up. So High Priestess in reverse. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. In this moment in time, if there's something that feels right, do it. If there's something that doesn't, also honor that. When I go back and edit this, I'll just cut it in and maybe I'll figure it out. But apologies for that. And again, in real time next time, let me know. So great week for personal development. If you want to focus on putting in the work a little bit more on anything that you care about, this is the time to do that. Also, I just talked about today about the importance of thoughts manifesting. So if you think to yourself, it's never going to work out, or this isn't going to happen, then indeed it is not going to happen. And that is because you are kind of willing it to be. If you think to yourself, this is possible, what if I try this? Why not? Then it can happen. Then something positive can happen from that. So open the door to possibilities by keeping an open heart and keeping an open mind. And that is going to really pay off in the long run. Since you had to wait and talk about this, let's give you two as well. So how can you overcome the High Priestess reversed? So one of the things here is there's someone in your life that has been trying to push you to do something, push you to recognize something, and it just may not be you. And so in this moment, you're getting a chance to focus on recalibrating and saying, you know what, I think I need to do it in this way. I think I need to do this. I understand your perspective, but this is where I need to go. This is what I need to do. And sometimes it's difficult to take that path on your own, but remember, we ended the week with strength. Friday. So I think in this moment in time, it's going to be important for you to be able to just say, I want to fight for this, right? So fighting for your vision is what I get when I look at these two cards together. And trusting instincts, trusting your intuition as things are happening in real time, okay? I feel like sometimes we take them for granted. You think to yourself, I don't need to worry about that. It's never going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. Listen to your dreams, listen to your instincts. This is the time to really tune in. And really the sky's the limit. The only limits you're putting on yourself exist here, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, just to help you visualize it, I'm gonna put some stickies in place so you can see what I'm looking at. This way, there will be no misses on this. So we're going to do October. November. And December. Okay. Past, present, future. Past, present, future, past, present, and future. Okay. The sun is crazy today. We went from like complete fog to brilliant light that's almost blinding. I might have to actually pull the curtain behind me a little bit, although I'm sure some of you like the light here. Let me adjust the ISO on this as well. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we're going to start off with October. And let's just take a moment to look at these three cards here. So we have Queen of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. Interesting. I think there's a chance to skip over this, but let's begin with the karmic energy for this month, which we're looking at. And so we have Queen of Pentacles coming through. For many of you, this is an awakening from hibernation. In this moment in time, you just might be feeling a newfound energy and a newfound a desire to do something. You may also be deciding to fight for what it is that you care about the most. So there may be something brand new coming into your life and you're thinking, I got to do this. I owe it to myself to fight for this. And I absolutely can get behind that. I think that the other thing here is picking and choosing your battles wisely. So some of you may be focusing too much on trying to win everything or win everybody's opinion over. Don't put too much energy into that, okay? The other thing here is, wow, I actually like that there is this power energy that we don't normally see in this. First of all, it's a mama bear, and the Queen of Pentacles is one of the maternal cards in tarot. So developmental energy is coming through really strong. And as we looked at the 7-day forecast, we had a metamorphosis card. We had and actually, when we looked at some of the other cards with like the snakes as well, the Queen of Wands. So yeah, we saw two cards where there was something under the surface that's coming through. So we can see that, and we see the awakening here because this bear is coming out of hibernation. So I like that. The thing that empowers the bear is movement and transition. So Six of Swords can be moving away. It can also be moving on. It's really a choice of where you want to focus your energy. If you stand still, there may be something that comes through where it's not worth the time and energy. One thing that I did see in dreams last night was this return to like trying to go to an old love or an old job or something that had kind of played its way through. And now I'm just remembering this, and I felt very much like I was traveling without any sort of destination. I saw myself in a plane and just going through towns and villages and seaports, and I'm like, where am I going? When does it stop? When do I get off? And you need to know where you're going. Setting a GPS. We actually see this as target practice here. So the Ten of Swords in the future is actually you being instructed by a previous challenge in your life. So if something didn't work out the first time, you have a chance in this moment to really learn from it and do better because of that experience. So everything happens for a reason. And one of the things that you can do right now is say, I'm going to empower my movement by not repeating history, okay? All right, so to sum it up, what October is really opening up for us is the opportunity to develop. The presenting challenge in October is moving forward without a purpose or without a clear vision of what's next or why you're moving. And there is a big encouragement from Spirit to not repeat history, not to repeat the past. So that's everything for October. Pretty powerful energy overall. Ten of Swords can also be bouncing back from some sort of a setback. So whether it's energetic, whether it's financial or even physical, we do see that you're able to move in a new direction, but it probably involves moving out or moving on. So the question here really is, are you ready to do one or both of those things? Moving up, moving on, or moving out. One of those needs to happen, okay? At least one of those. The challenge here is not to step into something that you've already done before, especially if it didn't work out. So if an ex comes back, or if you have a chance to go back to an old job, but every time that you go, it tends to just be something that you wish, you're like, why did I do this? Learn from that experience. Don't do it again. Work smarter this time, okay? Moving on to November. You haven't had enough chance to maybe have some fun or to play a little bit here. So when I'm looking at this otter, usually otters, they're smart, they're playful, they're flexible. And with this card in reverse, one of the reasons you may be blocked as we're looking at November is a lack of fun, a lack of enjoyment, a lack of progress. The other thing here with the Page of Wands is the overthinking things. So if it feels right, if it brings joy into your life, Page of Wands is saying, just go with the flow a little bit on this. Allow yourself to explore a different concept, a different environment, a different person that you might be working with or even hanging out with. We do have a lovely Ace of Pentacles. So whatever this is, by the way, let's say you have a hiccup in October. There's a setback. Really, to me, it just feels like something misfired. It doesn't feel like a true Ten of Swords. We don't see despair in this card. We see, nope, just try it again, and someone comes in to help you. They're like, there, not there. Use this, don't do that. So it's about reorganizing yourself, and by not taking yourself so seriously, by having a little bit more fun. Even though I looked at this originally, it was like a Page of Cups. It's Page of Wands, but there's water here. And otters work with that energy of emotion. So that's going to help you develop things. And then we see something coming through, something fruitful. So the middle of November here, we have possibly a job opportunity, a new idea, something that you get really excited or passionate about. And this one actually goes a step further in saying it's foundational, the foundation of life. So you can take something and really go next level and do something exciting with it. So that's something to celebrate. Now we have Nine of Swords, and this is stress. It's interesting that the months are starting off strong, and then we have like these little punctuated challenges. I like that we're walking back from the Ten of Swords, so if we want to go in any direction, I'll take the Nine of Swords. Usually this is about stress that is unnecessary. I might pull the traditional card for this while we're talking, but in the traditional illustration, it's right here, thankfully, we see someone that is making a mountain out of a molehill. A lot of times you might just sit and think about all these things that might be going wrong. I think that talking to someone can help. Make sure that you're not overreacting. And this is also about self-care. Both the 10 and the 9 of Swords happen when you're working too much or you're putting too much energy. We talked about this in the daily card pull. If you keep worrying about someone or something, you're actually feeding it. So the only way to get through that often is meditation, counseling, or channeling it in a different way. So please do that. Make sure that you're also not working to the point of diminishing returns. Get enough sleep. What she's doing here, though, is gathering up everything, gathering her thoughts, collecting her thoughts. So take time, slow down, collect your thoughts. You'll be better for that experience, okay? As we take a look at the final month of this year, it's actually pretty good. This is the one that ends on a good note. So we've had 2 months where we have to take care of our thought process and our physical self because we might be overdoing it. I don't necessarily see that happening in December. We have the Empress coming through in karmic energy, Judgment in the present or presenting energy there, and then it's ending with the Archer as the final card here. So let's begin with karmic energy. So basically, there's a reminder here in this moment that you are more capable, maybe than you give yourself credit for, that you have the capacity to basically do anything that you set your mind to. This is a good time for starting a new project, for possibly also if there's something that you want to birth or nurture in your own life, but you never have a chance to do it because you're constantly helping others, just you do you this month. But if you do need to step into a role where you are kind of like helping other people do things, yes, the boss energy is front and center. This is a fascinating card here. It's one of my favorite judgment cards. So this one is the Great Bear. The card is reversed. There is a passage here. So judgment is the final stopping ground before you go into expansion. Traditional card shows souls rising up from the dead, Gabriel blowing his horn, and it's a chance for you to basically step into something new. What we see here is resistance to that. For whatever reason, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can do it. When I'm looking at this, spirit is there, and it's more of, it's fear that's stopping you. It's coming through, and it's kind of showing up to see if you're brave enough to go for it, because that bear is not going to really do anything. This is a symbolic bear. You already have the power. You have the power to be that. You just have to step into it. Behind the bear is an aurora borealis, so we see a lot of movement, a lot of change. And then it ends again with target practice with the archer. Very good energy for Sagittarius for December, by the way. So it's asking you, did you take the lesson that was learned here? Now you can do it on your own. This is fascinating, especially since it showed up in the future state. So whatever this was, I want you to try it a couple of times. It may take 3 months or 3 tries, but it will come through. And you can't end with a better card in December than the Archer. And it's basically showing your capacity to bring things forward. One of the things that I think this also connects with nicely is when I said that I saw this ambling spirit of traveling without a purpose, without a vision. So I think that in this moment in time, it's going to be really important for you to decide, one, how did you currently get to where you're at? Do you wish you changed anything? Okay, that might be some of the processing or recalibrating energy with all of the different 5 of Cups that we got. What are you going to do about that? Rather than focus solely on could have, should have, would have, put into practice something that you can and will do in the future. I was trying to find the Chariot card, but anyway, that is going to help you move forward. We're just going to move with this one as illustrated. So target practice. I feel like much of October and November are target practice, and most of December is going to be execution. And it should be an easy execution. You may surprise yourself at the speed with which you move. And let's look at these really nicely here, because we've gone from the swords to success, basically. And we have cards of empowerment here with these 3 cards. And we have an opportunity smack in the middle. So if I had to bring it all into focus, here's what I can say. Movement is necessary, but so is direction. Rarely are you going to get it right on the first try. If you do, good for you, then you can kind of skip ahead. But if you haven't, have some fun, don't overthink, recalibrate, ground your thoughts and intention, and keep focusing, keep trying, just like an athlete would, just like anybody would. When we're learning to speak, we learn with letters, then we put them into words, then we form sentences, then we form paragraphs. Then we can put together a document. But it isn't, you don't go to that document first. You have to start with the essentials. There may be a missing block along the way that needs to be honed a little bit or learned. So we're going back and we're kind of filling in the blanks. And then you'll be able to get to that perfect execution after a couple of attempts, okay? It's also just a reminder that perfection is overrated, folks, right? I think that we are so focused on like the grades, and I think a lot of this has to do with the way we are brought up in school, that you have to accomplish something perfect first time. It's not about that. It's the process, and it's the soul comes through just to learn lessons. And December is basically teaching you that you'll have it. The target practice will pay off. Okay? So thanks to the Sagittarius energy for helping us rein it in and just focus on what matters. And also, something's coming to a close. The Judgment card is about recognizing and accepting that. because it's an end and a beginning. Your soul can go into something else. Think of a phoenix. That's really what the Judgment card is giving you. Rising up from your ashes of, it can be success, failure, or past experiences. So that's what we're seeing in this general sort of spread. Now let's go a little deeper, and we're going to go into the energy of health, wealth, love, and destiny. And I'm going to look at it overall, and then we'll see if it aligns to any of those major 3 months. Okay. So, health, wealth, love, and destiny. You can take these off now, because I need the space. All right, looking at the energy of health, which is mind, body, and spirit, we have forgiveness coming through. And it says you're on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. In particular, if you have anything going on with your parents, I'm going to extend it to just parents in general. It doesn't have to just be paternal. This is a chance to let it go. I have a really also amazing message for Aquarius, which will be coming out either today or tomorrow, but this connects with this because what I saw in the Aquarius reading was people sitting at a table, and it was family or blood relatives or someone really close, and everyone was seated next to the person you didn't want to be seated next to. The most awkward configuration. And someone at the table said, you know, like, it was in a temple too. So spirit had aligned people that had karma, and it was like, work it out. Spirit was being very direct. What you can do this month, sometimes people aren't ready or willing to do the work, but you can decide to let it go. Like not hold on to the anger, resentment, or energy, and say, when you're ready, the door is open. When that person's more receptive, maybe I can do it. But for now, I'm just not going to put the anger there anymore. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to show that person that it's possible by doing this. I'm going to forgive myself for even getting wrapped up in all of this stuff. So although, yes, for Aquarius, it is for everybody because it was very close to this reading that I got that message. So I would say healing can also happen beyond the planet, beyond the grave. So if somebody wasn't the best parent, for instance, there may be a chance to see them for all their flaws, and they're no longer here. What good is the anger? It's not going to help the situation. So if you can love yourself and let go, and you can't forgive everything, but you can at least understand it, that will help. The emotional work this particular quarter of the year is going to be important. And when we look at where it might be hitting the most, these are paternal cards. I mean, I really do feel this month it can work. And then we see it also coming through in December. So October and December. And I don't think it's just father healing. I think that's an old way of looking at this because I think God is everything. So if we're looking at a child of God, it would be everything, mother, father, everything in between. So healing relatives, healing with parents, that is definitely something that you can engage with in this moment. Now, I remembered I did this last time, and I also remembered I wanted to use both decks. So we're going to pull a card from this deck and take a look at how you can work on forgiveness. Two of Cups. To detangle yourself from someone. Look at how close these two people are. It almost looks like sisters, right? Or twins. And we have the tulips, and they're intertwined. Family can sometimes get too closely intertwined in your business or in your life. And this card is kind of helping you see that sometimes that isn't healthy. Sometimes that isn't worth it. But in this moment in time, I think that kind of pulling back a little bit and not getting in each other's business is going to be important as well. So the other thing that I would say in this situation is don't take on more than you need to. It's not your job to fix everybody. It's not your job to Also, if there's someone that's oversharing, you can just say, I'm not comfortable with that information, or I think you need to talk to someone else. This is particularly true of gossip as well, okay? But yeah, they almost look conjoined, but they're not really. You can see this person is just kind of in the background. But it's too much. It's too much energy because you can see her dress behind. I thought that first, but the more I've looked at this card, the more I realize they're just kind of melding together energetically. This can happen, by the way, this can be karmic. So you could have a sibling or a parent that you had like opposite roles in a previous life. So a parent, it's weird, but sometimes you could have been partners in a past life. You could have been boss and employee. You could have been brother and sister. And you see it in this life playing out in a weird way where the roles are reversed or where there's a lack of respect from one end or the other. Karma's playing in. So pull yourself out a little bit, and you can do a meditation to really release the karma. And I think that could be very advantageous in this moment. Okay? All right, let's move on. We're going to move on now to wealth. In the energy of wealth, we have the Emerald Tablet activation. The card is reversed. At the bottom, it says cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, conscious manifesting. Cosmic ordering. We looked in the December spread and we saw the Great Bear, aka the Judgment card in reverse. So this is a chance to open up a new door that you didn't think was there, but you have to be able to accept that it's possible. So disbelief closes doors. So open up to what's possible. Divine alchemy. We have the creative energy coming through with the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress at the beginning of both months. Even this is ideation. It's a spark of something new. So this is a chance for you to really focus on going with the intuitive spark and having some fun, playing in the sandbox a little bit. Conscious manifesting. Well, by the end of this period, and it does feel like it's the end of the 3-month period, whatever your goal is, you're able to accomplish it. You have to continue to steer the ship. You have to continue to focus on feeding that idea, and eventually it all pays off. The diagonal kind of tells the story of what can go on here with Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Archer. It will all work out, but it just takes a minute for it to all work out. Okay? Let's pull an oracle card, not an oracle card, but a tarot card to help clarify this. We're looking at wealth here. This is going to help us figure out on what to focus on with our money. There we go. Or with our sort of general wealth. So this is the penultimate card. This is the ultimate card. You are poised for success, but the next step is to go bigger. If you're in a situation in your life where you're asked to go smaller, you're asked to pull back, you're asked to mute yourself, mute your thoughts, your ideas, or your energy, that isn't it. And I did see that ambling energy of looking everywhere, and I think some of you are just trying to find the destination. So you have time. First of all, there's no rush. I think one of the things that you can do is just explore. Don't throw so wide a net that you confuse yourself, though. Start smaller and say, how about I try this? How about for this week or this month, I'm going to put my energy here, see if I can make a difference. And then if not, I'm giving myself permission to explore something else. This is a card of traveling, exploring, and widening your perspective. So this could also comprise education and just kind of like allowing yourself to see it from different perspectives as well. So kind of like what I was seeing in Life Review, you could also talk to people and ask them about their experiences. So lots of different opening up energy with this World card. And again, moving up, moving out, or moving on. There has to be something where you feel like it's getting you somewhere. If you're just spinning your wheels and it's not enough, this card is encouraging you to look beyond. Now, in this particular energy, I normally will break it down. So very briefly in this is a different way of looking at it. We don't have to go as sort of like focused. But if you have a job, this is the 3-month period where you should start to see some traction on promotion or recognition or getting more money. And if you're not seeing something in that area, then you're going to broaden your perspective. Entrepreneurs, in this period in time, you could be taking your brand to a more global stage. You could be positioning yourself to be bigger than you currently are, and that is going to mean that you have to streamline things a bit. Job seekers, you might be looking in a different city, state, country, or province. You might be changing careers, ending or beginning a career, which will bring us to students and retirees in a moment. You could be at any end of the spectrum, but the thing with the World card is invariably it's positive. So if you're not seeing the positive growth where you're at, it's time to go where the energy is open. For those that are students, I like what you're doing right now. Some of you are deciding possibly to study in a different country, or maybe you just changed your major. You might be doing a general major. Whatever it is that you're doing, I like the broad energy of it where it can take you far. And I like the fact that some of you are trying something out of your comfort zone. And it looks like you're going to complete what you've started, okay? For those that are retired, it's a good time to travel. And the world can be as big as you want it to be, as small as you'd like it to be, as scary or as wonderful as you'd like it to be. Don't focus on all the negativity. There's a lot of it right now. Focus on possibilities and make the most of the time you're given. This is true of everybody at every station, but particularly the retirees, because you're given more time now to do stuff, but you may be at a different point in your life where you're not sure what tomorrow brings. So it's important to live every day like it's the best possible day and you're going to make the most of it. Okay? Moving on. Love. Divine director. Well, this one's always hard to accept. Trust the process. Create space for divine order to unfold. Create space. That's what we can really get behind. This is particularly for those of you that are seeking love, but this is going to work for everybody. We can actually focus on this first in all the different aspects, but let me pull the tarot card, and then I'm going to bring this into focus for each of the three categories. So in addition to this, we got Four of Pentacles, the devil you know, unnecessary limits. Okay, so we're going to start first with those of you in a relationship. Create space for divine order. You may be too closely entwined with the person you love. There may be too much attachment to their success, to their happiness, to their health, whatever. You're going to create positive, necessary, and healthy boundaries. And you're going to trust that this is okay. And by the way, maybe just working on trust. You need to learn to trust each other for small decisions because you can't micromanage. That was something that came through. And that's what I get for those in a current relationship. And the director piece, you don't really want to, we had the strength card come up earlier and I talked about that. Sometimes people have a tendency to try to say, well, isn't that right? Or this is what you want, right? Like, don't try to push someone if they're not ready. Open them up and say, would you like to do this? I think we talked about this. Are you still on board? Try to kind of like lead them into it, but you can't, we don't want to force it, okay? Because then it gets into boss energy, and you don't really want a boss as a partner or a parent as a partner necessarily. Also with this card, it's about making sure that there's enough openness because all those locks represent protecting your heart, not sharing everything that you should. Moving on to those that are seeking love. This one is where it's like you're exactly where you need to be right now. Trust the process is what we're going to focus on here. Create space in your life, in your schedule, in your house. So interesting manifestation techniques. Let's say you make a little room in your closet. You make a little room in your schedule to do some things in your life where you might meet people. It doesn't mean that you're just waiting around. You could decide to go take a fitness class or a class at a community college, or you might decide to start a new sporting activity. Space where there's people, maybe you'll meet someone. You're going to have a little space in your closet. You're going to create a little space in your life in general, and then that allows for someone to step in. The other thing that makes space is by not having to need the focus can't be so much on what's missing. You're going to create the fullest life you can for yourself. And you're going to let go of the need to be with someone or let go of the feeling of being alone by creating fullness, richness. Richness is not just money. It's experiences and satisfaction and fulfillment. And when you are fully, that Ace of Cups overflowing, fulfilled, then you are very alluring to someone else because you're not going to be plugging into them for energy or depleting them and seeking completion from them. you have it. So you're just going to focus on creating both space and also fulfillment in your life. They're not contradictory, even though the words sound like it. So that's the focus for those seeking love. And we're not getting a person per se, although what we see coming in could be a Sagittarius. There could be a past life energy. We are getting Earth as well right now. If you're looking, since we're trying to keep this within maybe the next month or so, there could be an Earth sign. But right now, I really feel like the focus is on space in your life. For single and happy, good for you. You're exactly where you need to be. And you can use this time and space to put energy into something new. For you, that Ace of Pentacles is coming through really loud and clear. And the other thing here is opening yourself up to receive more. Four of Pentacles is limiting potential because you think to yourself, that person's out of my league, or I'm not ready enough, or I'm not young enough, old enough, pretty enough, experienced enough. Stop. Pull yourself back and just think, I'm ready to receive all that the universe wants to give me. And I trust that I'm ready. Trust the process. So everything that's coming through in your life, whether it's a business opportunity, new friendship, whatever, just trust that you're ready to receive it. And you may be surprised by partnership as well. But for now, we're just looking at focusing on opening up to receiving more. That's what I see for those that are single and happy. Okay. Where's it all leading? Expanded consciousness as we look at destiny. So many words on this. It says, the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus. The frequency of consciousness. So if you can go into a higher frequency, like thinking of the possibilities, of the positives, then that starts to support your ability to see them. This person needed to cut the words in half. And then you can start to include them in your reality. That's all this is saying. If you can think about it as something that's within reach, it can be within reach. Open your consciousness also to more simplicity, but to sort of saying that's possible. It doesn't have to be hard. I'm not going to get lost with all of this stuff. I'm just going to give it a chance. And you'll eventually land. That was one thing that I saw. In the dream, I wasn't sure. First, I was like, I thought I was in a plane and someone else was conducting it, piloting it. And then I was able to pull my energy out of that. I'm like, oh, I'm just astral projecting. It became a lucid dream. And then I thought, well, let's just have some fun. But then I was like, at a certain point, I really wanted to be somewhere. So I got all the different levels here for you, which is you are the pilot. You can go where you want to go, and there is a point where you have to put a stake in the ground and say, this is it. So I think that's the big opportunity in this 3-month period, is to give yourself enough time and space to know who you are, to give yourself enough opportunity to explore the opportunities out there, and then eventually to put a cap on that and say, let's do this, I'm ready. Because otherwise, it's kind of like your driftwood. Let's pull one card more for the consciousness to make sure that I covered everything. 4 of Wands, a lot of reversals today in this. What we do see here is the ability to set the stage for someone to come into your life. A friend, a partner, a lover. Whatever it might be, the person isn't there yet, but you're setting the stage. This is also a foundational or building card. So right now, you're very much putting it into sort of construction. It may take the full 3 months for you to be able to see everything come to fruition, but I do feel like you're headed in the right direction. Okay? That was a lot today, wasn't it? Thank you. We have a couple of extra things that we're going to be looking at. One, I'm just going to pull one big idea just to pull it all together, and then we'll do a final card. Brief meditation between the two. One big idea. What's the takeaway from today's reading? What should you focus on for today? Let's do the Like Seers deck. Okay, well, hello. So we have the Death and Rebirth card. With the card in reverse, it's actually focusing a little bit more on rebirth. I like this Reaper because it's about reaping the rewards of the hard work. part of that involves release. Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to step into the energy of possibilities? And I mean, I feel like we've been talking about that with also the Judgment card. One thing needs to come to a close. Something else is coming through. And we're going to have a really important reading at the end of the month. I always do a Halloween one. And the topics can shift from like messages from those that have departed to, just really connecting with spirit guides, your higher self. The veil is starting to get thinner over the next couple of weeks here. And so you can more easily step in or out of something between now and November 1st. So we'll do a special reading to kind of check in on it. But right now, it's saying this is the perfect time to recalibrate and to look at ending what you need to and starting what you need to. Okay? Let's meditate for a moment. And then we're going to take a look at one final question that you might have for this particular reading for the week ahead, since we focused on a lot today. I'd like you to close your eyes. Let's work with the energy that I had to see today, the fog. Imagine, if you will, that you are a lighthouse, and you are basically at the top of this lighthouse, or you can be the physical lighthouse itself. But if you're in the lighthouse, imagine that you are cleaning the light itself and starting to send it into a spinning motion. And as you start to spin the beam, you see it cutting through the fog around you. You see the Six of Swords ship coming toward you. And in this moment in time, you can start to set a new direction, a new trajectory in your life. But before you do, be the lighthouse and allow the beam of light to show you past, present, future. Allow it to clear any sort of questions or uncertainties in your mind. And know that each and every day of your life, you have the light within. Close your eyes, feel your heart start to beat, and feel that with each beat there is light pulsing in your body, almost like a firefly. Allow the light to grow and allow it to go further with each breath, with each beat of your heart. Reach your arms out and allow yourself to reach closer towards whatever goal or destination it is that you want. Get specific. Come back to this as much as you need to get that specificity. The more specific you are, the easier it's going to be to open up a synchronicity to help you get to the destination. Thoughts are power. So in this moment, I want you to think a positive thought about yourself and about your capacity to accomplish your goal. Breathe it, believe it, set it out into the horizon, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. This is a chance now to look at one final question, something that you still need guidance on in this moment in time. We have 5 of Pentacles coming through for the final card. This, as a yes or no, would be no. And let me tell you why. It's a little limited, as you can see here. There's a possibility for more. So if you're negotiating for a job, if you're trying to buy something, it's either like if it's down to compensation and appreciation, you can get a little bit more. So you should negotiate for more. If you're reaching your resources and spending, it's overreach. So pull it in a little bit and take care of yourself. We want to go to the balancing energy of the Six of Pentacles. There needs to be a little bit more for you. In a self-confidence sort of question, this is saying that you do not need validation, permission, or support from someone else to get it done. Everything you need is within you. And when you start to see it, then you'll start to receive it. When you start to believe it, other people start to also resonate with that as well. Healing the wounds of the past absolutely are a part of this. Typically, it is a parental card, very much connected to what we got for health. And it isn't always easy to forgive, but forgiveness begins with understanding. And understanding leads to compassion. And compassion eventually can lead to forgiveness. It's a multi-step process. You can't forgive until you know why something happened. And so this may just be the inner work on understanding why someone was limited in their capacity to support you, to love you, to be there. It may have gone back to their parents or their parents' parents, or their lack of preparation, their own sort of challenges that they maybe didn't share with you. And then you're like, okay, That doesn't make it better for me, but I understand it. I understand that they're flawed. I understand that I'm not perfect, and maybe I can at least see a similarity that we're both working on ourselves. Find your way to forgiveness if you can, but at the very least, forgive and love yourself and see yourself as whole, completely whole, without validation from that person. You're more than enough. You matter. That was the big takeaway. I didn't need to pull any cards today to tell you that. Spirit was so clear on showing you your worth, particularly, again, from that sort of wonderful life connection that I saw. So you make more of an impact and a difference than you ever might realize. And if somebody in your life didn't show you just how valuable you are, Spirit came through today to do the work, and I'm just the messenger, okay? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your patience today. Sorry for the air signs. The message you got was just for you, and Earth needed 2 messages. I firmly believe that. There are no mistakes. There are just things that come through. So those 2 signs got double messages because you needed double messages, and you needed it in the manner that I presented them. So thanks for your patience and for being receptive to that. Let's take a couple moments here just to say thanks. By the way, I enjoy this community because we can have a sense of humor. We don't have to be perfect. We support each other. Chat is usually very positive. I don't see that everywhere. I love that it's here. And I've been working hard over the past decade almost to foster that. So thanks for showing up and being a great part of this. If you enjoy what you see here, give me a follow on social media. It's a good way to make sure that you never miss out on a future video. A reminder to everybody that does that, I don't offer private readings. I don't use direct messages. I'm not on WhatsApp, Telegram, or anything like that. So be mindful of anyone that is doing that. Block, report, let me know about it. If you like this, it's 100% free to do this, and you're brand new, subscribe. I do a lot of different types of videos, and I'm constantly pushing myself to do different ones. Daily, weekly, monthly. I want to do another podcast. I'm trying to find the right guests. I had someone, but they pulled out. So we'll find the next one soon. I'm going to be doing a deck review here in the next month. I try to change it up. Maybe we'll do some more instructive videos in the coming months. So join me. This is a cool community where I try new things. Subscribe, like, and comment. I'd like to now give some gratitude to everybody that showed up. So thanks to everybody. Even if you're just here, just hanging out, that's exactly enough. But to those of you that went a little bit extra and either gifted a membership or became a member, I want to start with you, and then we'll do super stickers and super chats next. Okay, so starting off with those that gifted a membership. Let's see, or received one, or joined or received. We got a lot today, actually, so that's great. So let me, I'm going to say first names only. Apologies for any mispronunciation. I do my best. All right. Janet, Priyanka, Anne, Patrice, Alicia, Jenny, Deborah, Amy, Out for Dinner, Slow Living with Magic, Monica, Kathy, Vicky, Pauses and Passages, Rulio, Taverna, Institutionalized, TOG, and Carmen. Thank you very much for either joining or gifting or being gifted. It's just good to have you here. Let's take a moment to celebrate some milestones and to also call out those who were able to give back. So give me a second here, fan funding. And here's what we've got here. So Marshall, congratulations on 8 months of membership. I'm loving that you love it, and thank you for the GOAT compliment. I appreciate that. Kathy Smith, 16 months to you. Thank you for almost 1.5 years. I appreciate your time here, and I'm glad that you showed up. Let's see. Is it Aslinaz? Thank you for 3 months of membership, and apologies for mispronouncing that perhaps. Colette, gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. 44 months, get out of town. Michelle, it has been a while since you've been able to catch a live. That's okay. I'm glad you've been here, and thank you for many years of being a supporter. That means a lot. Then I gifted 5, so welcome to all of those that got that. Rafaela, just over 1 year. Thank you. Let's see what else is going on here. Deborah, 17 months. Congratulations on that. I'm glad you look forward to it. Me too. I always feel better after these readings. I hope you do as well. And Jan, 20 months of membership. You're amazing. Thank you for that. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I know that Dakota is amazing, so thanks to him for all of his help on that. All right, let me take a moment here to welcome, or say thank you, rather, to those that gave back with all of the different levels of super stickers, super chats, etc. Okay, so here we go. Thank you to all of the following: Jeannie, Annabella, Crystal, Gina, Quiet Play, Jeannie again, thank you, Water Girl, Snowbird, and Rafaela. I hope I got everybody. Let me see if I missed anyone. I think I got them all. Snowbird, yes. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so thank you everybody for your time, your energy, for holding space today. Lots of love and light from both Apollo and I. We'll see you again soon. He's giving you some kisses as well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.